Okay, let's come back. Uh, the team size, a student asked me about team size. Uh, I think last year we have a standard team size of 6. I'm not sure, okay? I mean, I'm not sure about whether uh, Raymond wants to change it this year. So Raymond would be in charge of that. So you can negotiate with him. Occasionally, we would allow students to have one extra student or one less student. So I think sometimes we allow that to happen because of the tutorial group may not have the perfect may not be perfectly divisible by 6, right? Let's say then sometimes one group will have to have one person extra or one person less. Okay. Okay. So let's take a look at study skills. If you look on Google, you can find some suggestion on how to study. Let's see if you violate any of them. Okay. If you, after you study for 15 minutes, do you take a 10-minute break? Anyone? Or you take break even before you get to 30 minutes, 20 minutes. Okay. So that's what they suggest. And also they suggest after, let's say after 2 hours, 1 or 2 hours, you should switch to study another subject. That's what that's happened to me when I'm reading a book. After I read for 1 or 2 hours the same book, then I would start to like fail to engage myself. So I start to get bored, and I won't get in much even if I keep reading on the same book. So I need to sort of take a break. I guess maybe the only exception is if you're reading a novel, okay, then maybe you can read for 3-4 hours. But if you're reading something very intense, very difficult studying, you need to take a break every 1 hour, change subject every 1 hour or two. The third one here is about when to review. I have to. There's one common mistake that people think about software engineering is that, or the ways people study for university, they make the mistakes thinking that I just need to memorize the stuff. Okay, I need to memorize the stuff, and the best time to do it is before the exam. Is that true or not? Okay, actually, people have done research on it. If people try to cram study just before the exam, they would go into what we call it service learning. So they only learn on the surface, they won't learn deep. So the problem with that is if you try to cram everything before the exam, you would forget that after the exam quickly. That's one thing. Another thing is you won't get a deep understanding. So in order to learn, the best thing is after the lecture, within 2 days, review it once. Okay, then if you review it at the right time, it will save you time, and also you'll remember it much better. But finally, studying for software engineering is not about memorizing facts. Memorizing facts is you have to remember something after you learn something, but that is not the main point. The main point is to be able to solve problems in software projects. So after you get the basic understanding of the facts, then the key thing is to apply it. If you only care about memorizing, then you don't have time to think about problem solving. So that's not what we want to see happening. Okay. And if you want, you can. Oh, I also encourage you to make notes when you're studying. write down notes in a Word file, or if you print the notes in hard copy, then write down the notes, write down your handwritten notes. Here are some study techniques: sleeping, studying, exercising. How many of you get at least 8 hours of sleep a day? 8 hours. Anyone? 8 hours? Poor guys, you don't have 8 hours sleep. How about 7? 7 hours of sleep. Nobody? Oh, okay, a few. 6 hours. Okay, thank you. Thank you for showing the hands. Okay, the other people, I think sleeping is the best gift God has given us. Okay, I think whether you're rich or poor, you can enjoy sleeping the same. I think also actually people have done research. They figure out sleep deprived people. That means those people who don't get enough sleep, actually they learn worse. Their learning result is worse. So you think you try to study longer, or you do more things during the day, and you reduce your sleep, and you thought you're doing yourself good in your learning. That's not true. That is very bad. Okay, because actually during sleep time, your brain is the housekeeping time. So your brain will try to put things into the drawer, organize things, so that the next day it can find where it is. May I ask another question? 有冇人試過通頂考試之前通頂讀書嘅？有幾多個試過通頂讀書嘅 ？OK， 多啲啦。OK， 嗱，如果個先生問嗰條問題咧係死背嘅話咧，我估你哋有機會會答得到。但係咧，如果嗰個先生問嗰條問題咧，唔係喺啲 notes 嗰度有嘅。OK，if the question he or she asks in the exam is about about analysis, I bet you will not do very well if you did not sleep the night before the exam. Okay, for me, I find sleeping actually help my brain reorganize the facts so that I can pick out the facts that are relevant. Okay, so that is my personal experience as well as people's research result. So that's why I emphasize so much by perhaps better coordinate, better manage your time. You can get back the sleep you need. Of course, sleeping more than 9 hours may not do you any good. Okay, sleeping more than 9 hours, 10 hours is probably bad for you. But if you sleep too little, then it is probably bad for your learning as well. Studying, there's no replacement of hard work. That means if you study not enough, okay, then your result, of course, will not be good. But then I've also done some research in the previous term. I asked students how much time they study and how focused are they. Do you know what I find out? I find out I basically divide the students into 3 groups based on their performance. The weakest students, 讀書成績最差嗰班咧 is true， 嗰班同學咧係佢 report 嘅 study hours 咧係最少嘅。But then how about the next 2 groups, the middle group and the top group? Actually, I find out the middle group did actually study at least as much as the top group, or even more than the top group. The only difference is the top group focus more. Okay, so the top group did not need to spend more time studying than the middle group, but they are more focused. It also agree with many other research. I have recently meet some distance learning students. I asked them what do they think is their trick to study well. Some students told me that multitasking is their trick. They thought multitasking can help them do well. But let me tell you, if you are learning, you really should not be multitasking, okay? Multitasking is only for the task that you can go in autopilot, okay? What does it mean? Okay, autopilot 就係呢度有冇人揸車㗎？呢度有冇人有車牌㗎 ？OK， 有冇人學過車嘅？有學過車，亦都已經有車牌啦，係咪 ？OK， 嗱，你可以同我哋分享你嘅經驗咧，就係當你學緊車嘅時候，你可唔可以 multitask？ 當你學緊車嗰陣時，如果你學緊車嘅時候，你 multitask 嘅時候咧，我諗你嘅師傅會趕你落車嚇，或者你會撞咗添，師傅會成日踩個 brake。OK，so so when can you do multitask? It's when you are very familiar with that task. You can do autopilot. That means you can automatically, like you can use a little bit of energy, then you can do it. Then if the task becomes simple to you, after you have several hundred hours experience driving, then you can drive while talking to your passenger next to you. OK， 你可以一路揸車一路同人傾偈。但係當你學緊嘅時候咧，你係冇可能一路同人傾偈又一路揸車嘅，你一定會撞嘅，即係一定會出事。OK，learning is the same. If you multitask, then you're not really learning. Okay, learning requires full attention. So these are some of the very important things to remember. And some of you have good study habits. Some of you have bad study habits. This is coming from a book that talks about what is habit. Okay, when we have habit, usually there is a cue. A cue is like a reminder. It reminds you that you need to do something right now. For example, okay, when I walk past McDonald's, okay, so that is the cue. Then I think of the ice cream cone, okay. Then I may have the routine to walk in there and buy ice cream, and then after that I get my reward. I'm very happy. Okay, so usually we have there's the cue. It's like a reminder that okay, it's time to do something. Okay, so for some of you, talking in class is like that. May I ask if there are students here who cannot understand Cantonese? 有冇同學唔識講？I mean， 有沒有同學不會聽廣東話的？沒有 ，Nobody. Okay, so that means I can use bilingual sometimes. 有啲同學咧 ，OK， 有一個壞習慣咧，就係我個老友坐喺隔離嘅時候咧，上堂我就要傾偈㗎啦 ，OK。咁我睇得出呢度有好多老友喺度啊 ，OK。咁呢個係睇件衫係咩 ？Property of OK， 好嘢。係啊，係你兩個 OK。我知道你好老友，所以你好多偈想傾 OK。嗱，不如我借你哋兩個嚟做舉例好 OK。嗱。你哋即係有一個習慣上堂，有一個習慣咧就係呢個同學坐喺我隔離嘅時候咧，我就好想同佢傾偈嘅。咁 OK， 咁個 Q 咧就係我個老友喺我坐喺我隔離，個 routine 就係傾偈咯。咁個 reward 就係哇傾完偈好開心喎，好爽啊咁樣 OK。咁但我以前試過即係有個學生咧，我真係俾我即係我呢2年已經冇罰學生 出去㗎啦，即係我以前有嘅，OK。但係有一個學生咧，即係我而家都仲好記得佢嘅，即係佢收尾係即係都係成為一個 top student 啦。佢真係好唔好彩，佢係好 popular 嘅，即係好多人都中意同佢傾偈嘅。咁啊後邊啲人都走去同佢傾偈，咁佢同佢傾偈，佢係一個好有禮貌嘅。咁我擰轉頭佢傾，咁見到擰轉頭傾嘅時候，我唔鬧你，咁我即係對自己唔住啦。咁我收尾即係經過兩三次之後，罰咗一次出咗去傾偈咯。即係罰咗去，即係叫咗去。嗰陣時已經落堂㗎啦，即係罰咗去嗌你出嚟，即係你唔出去我唔講書咁。咁但係呢個同學咧，佢收尾真係好乖喎，佢自己坐開，即係佢自己即係離開佢一班朋友啦，我唔好話豬朋狗友啦 ，OK，離開佢一班朋友，佢自己坐開啲咧。咁 in the end 佢真係喺即係喺呢一科嗰度攞 top student 啦 ，OK，咁我唔開名啦，即係 in case，因為我有啲同學咧，佢即係內時鐘都會翻嚟聽我啲 YouTube 嘅，所以我唔開名啦 ，OK。咁畢咗業幾年㗎啦。咁 if we want to change a routine, if we want to change a habit, you really have to work on your cue. You have to see that, okay, maybe next time when I see McDonald's, okay, when I think of the ice cream, then I have to change to think of something. McDonald's, I need to change to think of running 100-meter dash, 200-meter dash, or running a marathon, okay, to keep myself fit so that I won't be too fat, okay, and maybe you have to change that to change your reward. So this is by manipulating your cue, by manipulating the routine, maybe you can replace some bad habit with good habit, but it's not easy, okay? Because almost everyone knows smoking is bad for your body, but once you get a bad habit, it's very hard to change it. So hopefully you can, if it's important to you, then you can try to change it. Planning. This is a loop of improvement. You planned and you work at it, you check your result and see if you need to improve, and then you change again, and then it goes through. So when you see, so how this loop will work, how it applies to your study. Okay, for one thing, what we are learning here, I try to emphasize that it's not only good for software, okay, it's also some of the principle has been used by other company. We know Toyota, Fengtian, okay, it became the second or the first largest auto company in the world. Although in the previous few years, they have some bad news. They had some bad product, maybe a failing airbag 個汽車嗰個 airbag， 即係嗰個保護嗰個安全氣袋啊咁。I think they had some bad publicity, but over the years they have improved a lot, and they've used some stuff like this, some technique like this. This is a Japanese or Chinese term. It means you plan, you do it, and then you check. So remember, you always check. Okay, in case you're using, let's say, whatever study habit that you're using, if you're already a top student, then there's no need to change, okay? And continue with it. But let's say if you are mediocre, okay, if you are only a B student, then maybe you have room to improve. Then you can work out this loop. You check your result, you change your way of doing things, and maybe you will become a better student. Okay, what is our learning outcomes of this course? We want you to know about what activities you need to do in software engineering. You want to be able to analyze the activities, so how to do it well. The word elicit, this elicit and analyze requirements. Before we write the software, we need to know what user needs. So the word elicit means it brings out from the brain of the user, because user need to tell you what they need. So, but it requires very effective communication. So that's why I'm saying that the principles we learn in this course, if you practice it, then it may become, it may help you to become a very effective communicator. So you can, with good communication skills, your career, your future career will be very good. Okay. In fact, it always make a big difference. If you're good at programmer, then people would keep you as a programmer. But if you're a programmer, but you can also communicate, then your boss will let you lead a team of programmers. Okay, because you can communicate, you can coach your junior programmers, help them do a good job, and you have the programming skills to help them do better job themselves. So, so this is about good communication. Model. When you write large system, you cannot just sit down and write the code. You have to sometimes build a model. 好似我哋去買，如果你見過有啲售屋嘅單位嘅時候，售屋嗰啲叫咩啊？即係嗰啲示範單位嘅時候咧，they have some models of the building, right? So to give you an idea what it looks like. In software, we also have some models, but it's different kind of models. We have different kinds of diagram to show different parts. For example, have you heard of class diagrams? Class diagrams. Okay, I think we have learned of object orientation, parent class, child class, right? And class diagram allow us to express that type of relationship. So we have models, and we'll design, we'll add more details. Patterns are some existing usage, all well-known usage that people can learn from. Implement basically it means coding, okay? Coding. And software engineering, we concern about measurement. We try to measure, for example, how many lines of code you write in an hour, in a day, or how many bugs per 1,000 lines of code. Those are measurements. In software engineering, we measure things to measure the productivity of a person or to measure the quality. Okay, for example, two teams doing similar project. If one team have 10 bugs, the other have 5 bugs, then of course the 5 bugs has better quality, right? And we want to make software engineer as a very respectable. Oh, I just noticed that you don't see. Maybe next time I should have a pointer here. Point number 7. If we become ethical software engineers, then people would trust us. Okay. Okay, so these are the topics we will learn. We'll learn about different software processes: waterfall, prototype, spiral, agile, and most notably, you'll spend a lot of time learning Scrum, SCRUM. We at OpenU, we are probably the very first university in Hong Kong to teach Scrum. Okay, so in undergraduate. So of course, we've been doing that for several years now, and maybe some other universities are catching up. I know PolyU teach that for their master students, okay, but I think we are the first to teach to undergraduate the increasingly popular Scrum. So there are two processes that probably everyone should know. One is the waterfall, okay. The other one is Scrum. You learn to draw UML diagrams, you learn design patterns. Item 5, inspection, code review, testing, and test-driven development. All these activities try to help us improve the quality of software. Inspection is one programmer looking at the code of the other people. Inspection and code review are somewhat similar, but one is more formal than the other. So one will go through more, spend more time, more detail. And what's the difference between testing and test-driven development? With testing, you write the program and then you test it. But test-driven development is actually quite interesting. You will write program to test another program. Okay, so that means you can have potential. You can have two teams of programmers. One team of programmers writing the programs to be given to the user to use, and then another team of programmers would write programs to test this program. How can you do that? Well, one is perhaps through the API approach. You call their routine, and then you try to call their functions to add some records, and then later on you check if the record has been added correctly in the database. So this is how you can have two teams of people, both writing programs, but one team write program for customers, the other team write program to test another program. So it's let's see if we have enough time to do that this year. Okay. Software maintenance is about enhancing software or fixing bug, enhance it with new feature or fix bugs. Configuration management, if you have let's say you are writing a restaurant management system, okay? You sell your system to many different restaurants, okay? And then maybe different restaurants have their different customization. So you will need something called configuration management so that you can manage the code, the different code you sell to different customers more effectively, okay? Estimation and measurement, we would try to teach at least two of them, okay? Estimate is to estimate how much effort it is to develop a software. If you're trying to get a project, you need to be able to accurately estimate it. Of course, it's very difficult. So that's why it's something that you need to learn and also need to have experience. Project management, we would learn to use PERT chart, Gantt chart, and we'll also learn about risk management.